Hey roamers, welcome back to the channel. I'm Felix.
And I'm Cindy.
We are the Roaming Gomes, and in 2019 we sold everything. And we went on the road in our RV. We haven't looked back.
We've been following my nursing contracts. I'm a travel nurse, so we've been trying to find places we want to go to that I can also get a job at. And we've been having a good time.
And in this week's video, we're going to talk about 8 of the biggest myths that you're going to see all over social media.
So many ideas and so many wrong ideas.
And something I want to get out there right away is if you go onto any of these RV groups and you ask a question and any of the responses start with, I've heard, pass that answer by and go to somebody who's talking about something they've actually done.
Yeah.
So let's start off with number 1. Propane being turned on while you're towing.
Oh, that's a big debate. You'll hear, never have your propane turned on while you're towing down the road.
And there are certain times when you should not have the propane turned on. And that is when you're going to pull into a gas station. And many states will not allow you to have the propane turned on when you're going through a tunnel. However, most of those states have set limits on how big the propane tank needs to be before they make you turn it off. And none of these RVs are anywhere near those limits. But to be on the safe side, turn them off before you go into the tunnel. Otherwise, there is no problem driving with your propane on. And I have to be the first to admit, I have pulled into a gas station and not turned it off. If you fear you're going to do that, be 100% sure that your water heater specifically and your heat are not turned on, because you don't want them igniting while you're sitting at the gas pump.
The second myth that there's so much discussion on is don't put any toilet paper in your black tank, which is, I don't even want to think about where they do put it. But
well, most of them say that they're putting it into a container in the bathroom.
But if you're using a toilet paper that's easily degradable, there's no reason why you shouldn't have used toilet paper in your RV black tank just like you would use in your sticks and bricks.
Now, I mean, we've talked about this before, and we did a video about how to empty your black tank and so on and so forth. And we've been using Angel Soft toilet paper since we've been on the road, almost 5 years. And have never had a clog, have never had a problem. And if you empty your black tank and rinse it properly, you won't either. You do not need to buy RV toilet paper at the inflated prices that they're selling it for.
And by all means, don't buy it at Camping World or one of these other RV places.
Oh, no.
It's ridiculous.
It's going to be twice the price that you would pay at Walmart. Mm-hmm. Number 3 is one that has kind of started to fade a little bit, and because a lot of other RV YouTube channels have addressed the same myth, and that is that Irish Spring throughout your RV will help keep mice out.
The bar soap?
Yeah. No, it won't. What it will do is provide them with another food source. Because that time and time again, people have shown videos of the mice actually eating the Irish Spring soap or shredding it for nesting material. Okay, and that's another one that people say, take dryer sheets, put them out. No, you are providing nesting material for the mice.
It's like an invitation.
Oh, yeah.
And we want you to stay. Here's some nesting material.
Maybe something like peppermint oil, which is proven to be a repellent, or one of those Sonic things that the people buy. Those may work. For us, it's been 2 cats.
Cats work better than anything.
Oh, absolutely. I honestly believe that these mice smell these cats in here, and we're like, nah, we'll go to the next guy.
The next myth is that you must have XYZ product. This is a must have. This is a must have. Everything you see promoted on YouTube or Instagram, RV channels, you don't have to have every single thing.
The one that springs to mind right away is the snap pads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, not everybody needs every product. That's the best way to put it. Is there's really the only must-haves are like you need a stinky slinky for your black tank. You need your basic things to tow and the basic things to have your RV function, but you don't need every little gadget that comes out. Kind of assess what your needs actually are and then purchase accordingly. But you don't have to purchase every single thing that you see.
This lifestyle should be the definition of minimalism.
Yeah.
And another one that has kind of come to the forefront recently has been you need to be armed to the teeth.
For safety.
For safety's sake. Because if you don't have a gun in every room, at every door, and in every hidden spot, you are going down. Oh, bull hockey.
Where are these people parking? Where are they camping that they need to have?
That's the question that really comes to mind to me. Are you not at all spatially aware of where you're parking? You need to be aware of where you're parking. And if it's unsafe, don't park there.
There are so many places that you can go. Even on BLM land, there's rarely any place there that's going to be requiring you to have an artillery in your...
And there are people that talk about, oh, but what about bears and wolves and this and that? Okay, you know what? Have you ever heard of bear spray? Probably the most effective way to get rid of a bear. If any of you ever have watched the show Alone, they're putting these people out there with polar bears and grizzlies, and what they're giving them is bear spray and an air horn. And nobody's been killed on that show yet. So that is not an excuse. This is really kind of one of my pet peeves. Okay? You're supposed to be enjoying this lifestyle, not worrying about whatever noise you hear outside.
This next one is one that's really always baffled me, as you're not supposed to cook in your RV.
I'm not?
I do.
Oh my goodness.
I'm hoping that's not true because we've been doing it for 5 years. I don't understand it. Why would they put kitchen appliances in an RV if you're not supposed to cook in the RV? I'm not sure where it's coming from.
And as someone who does most of the cooking, I will admit, yeah, your kitchen's going to be a whole lot smaller than what was in your steaks and bricks.
And it's going to heat up all of your area in your RV because it's a small area. So you do want to be aware of what time of day it is, how hot it is outside, because it can get very warm in here just boiling some pasta or something. So yes, you can cook in your RV. Yes, you can use your oven. Yes, you can use your stove. I'm not sure where that came from, that you're not supposed to cook in your RV, but it's sort of along the same lines of people that don't take showers in their RVs. It's like,
or poop in their RVs.
Why do we have a bathroom if we're not supposed to use the facilities that are in the bathroom?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's a personal preference, I guess, of some people, but it's definitely not a fact that you can't cook in your RV.
Another thing that I've seen misunderstood a lot in these RV groups is 50 amp versus 30 amp. It is perfectly fine to use a dog bone adapter, plug your 30 amp plug into that dog bone, and plug it into the 50 amp service. What you need to be aware of is how much power you're drawing. Don't use anything that you wouldn't use normally if you were connected to 30 amp service. and vice versa. If you're plugging your 50 amp RV into a dog bone adapter and plugging it into 30 amp service, you're only going to have 30 amps available. So if you try to run your both air conditioners like you would on a 50 amp service, you're going to blow that circuit breaker. Period. So again, in that instance, you can't use everything that you would use if you were hooked up to normal 50 amp service. You just have to be aware. And I think there's a kind of a common thread going through these myths.
Be aware.
Be aware. Okay, the 30 amp is going to be able to power one of your air conditioners and maybe your microwave at the same time.
But probably not the air conditioner, the microwave, and the coffee maker, and the blender, and the toaster.
Yeah, and the air fryer. And you got to be aware of what you're pulling.
And the last myth that we see a lot in Facebook groups, and I'm subscribed to a group called Girl Camper, which is what it says, Girl Campers. And there's a lot of misunderstanding about your black tank valves. Are you supposed to leave them open? Or are you supposed to leave them closed? I don't know where these things come from, but have your black tank valve closed at all times until you're ready to dump the black tank.
Now, I mean, as far as the gray tank, that debate will go on forever as to whether or not you can leave it open or closed. We leave it open until we're getting ready to move, and then like a day or two before, we close it, and then we rinse out the black tank hose when we do our final dump.
But for your black tank, valves are closed at all times when you're towing, when you're going anywhere, when you're parked, when you're towing, when you're anything. Your black tank valve stays closed unless you are emptying the black tank. Because if you leave it open with your slinky attached, all the liquids go out, but the solids don't. So you've got a poop pyramid.
I think that's the international symbol for an RV poop pyramid.
Okay.
Just that common thread. Be aware. Be aware of who you're taking advice from. And like I said in the beginning of the video, if their answer starts off with, I've heard, don't even look at the answer. If you're going to take advice from somebody, take advice from people who have actually done the things you're asking about. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've subscribed. And we will see you
next week.